Get in! Get the fuck in! What a result. I said, after we hurt City's title challenge, that we just need to go and beat Arsenal to keep the race open. I honest to God, I mean, I'm going to hold my hands up. I didn't call the 3 points. I called the draw. I thought we would have heard it, but I did say we just needed to go and beat Arsenal now, too. And I am glad. I predicted the 2-2 draw, honestly, but beating Arsenal at the Emirates for the first time in like 8 years that's great. It's a great feeling. I love it, especially when it hurts their title charge, and especially when Liverpool lose as well. What a great weekend to be a United fan, you guys. Welcome back to the channel. This is Unitedverse, everybody. I am your host, Sean. We are here to react to the match as Manchester United beat Arsenal 3-2 at the Emirates to dent their title charge, to show us, to put us into top 4, to put back-to-back wins against the first and second place team in the league. It's a massive 6 points, not one that I think a lot of us thought we would get. So it was an awesome day. I'm not going to lie. Like, honestly, not even single-digit temps could kill my buzz yesterday. You guys might have seen this. I'm going to play.
Oh, we didn't get it. We didn't get it.
Yeah, I get a little wild.
Oh, feeling good.
Not even single-digit temperatures could kill my buzz yesterday, you guys. I said as we were watching the match with Bill and Brad, big up Bill, Brad, Ellie. Bill made some excellent soup, by the way. But I said as we were watching this, if we get 3 points, I'm going to go slide in the snow. I'm going to go like a penguin. I'm going to do a snow angel. I can't be helped. It is what it is. And before you ask, no, I didn't catch pneumonia. All the moms out there, I didn't catch pneumonia. We're good. But anyway, we're here to talk about the performance, the result. I've got a few takeaways of my own that I want to say. I want to go through in the individual performances as well. So make sure you hit that like button for me, please. Make sure you subscribe. We are getting closer and closer to 3K. I would love to get there ASAP. And I believe in you guys. I think with your help, we could do that. So let's get stuck in, you guys. First and foremost, I got to check and see who's in the comments. Danny B's in the house. Big up, Danny. Hope you're doing well. Hope everyone had a good weekend. And wherever you are, I hope to God it's not as cold as it is here. It is freezing cold here. It sucks, man. Having to shovel snow every day. Big up, Sanjay. Sanjay, where you at today, man? Let us know where you are. He's like Carmen Sandiego out here. Legends will know that reference. He's always traveling. But big up, guys. So let's dive right in. I did put a short out yesterday when the team news was released, asking you guys what you thought about the fact that Michael Carrick named an unchanged starting 11 for this one from the team that beat City in the derby. Were you happy with that? Is that what you wanted going into it? Would you like to have seen some rotation? What do you make of that, basically? Let me know what you thought. On one hand, when I saw it, I was a little concerned initially that both Cunha and Šeško were benched again. I thought maybe they deserved to maybe get some minutes. But on the other hand, I think back to, the days of Sir Alex. I think back to his way of maybe pushing some players, getting the most out of some players by benching them, by keeping them hungry, or maybe just getting them aggravated enough to where they really come on in those, 15, 20, 25 minutes as a sub and really prove themselves. And it could be, any way you want to look at it, it's worked. Cunha's come on as a sub these last 2 games under Carrick, and he's made something happen. It's been impressive. And I did say in the second half while we were watching this yesterday that we needed to get Cunha on. I felt like we needed a little bit of that energy, a little bit of that fight. It was a little too, I want to say passive. It was just a little quiet from us a little bit. I thought in the first half we were giving Arsenal just a little too much respect. And so I was happy we brought Cunha on. And then when Arsenal swapped wingers and they started spamming crosses in the box because, Bukayo Saka could not hang with Luke Shaw, Arsenal literally put in like 20-something crosses on the day. But that's when I was like, all right, maybe we need to bring on Šeško, get some of his height in there. We need to, especially on set pieces, we need some help. And so I was glad that we made that change. I wonder if Šeško will maybe be a focal point for us when we maybe start to play teams who sit back a little bit. Maybe we need to put more balls into the box. Maybe that could help. Because we haven't put that many crosses in under Carrick. It's been a lot of counterattack, a lot of balls over the top, a lot of balls to feet in the channels and whatnot. Defensively, Carrick's setup was to once again make us difficult to break down, force the play wide again, and this is why Arsenal kept crossing the ball. what this did was saw us dominate the defensive numbers, the defensive stats on the day, a lot more tackles, interceptions, whatnot. But again, I do think that we were a little too passive to start. I thought, not it wasn't passive like it might have been maybe under Amorim, not to kick him while he's down, but just to use an example where it felt like we were a little kind of really struggling. It was passive, like we were just being patient. Like it was almost like a rope a dope kind of feeling from us a little bit. But I do think that Arsenal did not look great. There was an opportunity there to really maybe step it up a little bit. And I was glad that we did that in the second half. What are you guys saying here in the chat? Big up, Lyle. Good to see Lyle, man. Always love seeing the Huey avatar. Big up, man. Sanjay says, we're a little surprised that Casemiro played the whole game. Honestly, Casemiro's buzzing, man. There was a question marks when the announcement came out earlier this week that he would be leaving at the end of his contract. There was question marks if it was going to have like a Jurgen Klopp effect, where Liverpool, you guys remember Klopp's final season, Liverpool kind of derailed a little bit. They really only, what did they get, third in like the League Cup? I was worried, but I mean, he said that he wanted to go out strong. He's going to give his all. Some people might have been worried that maybe he would just take it easy so he doesn't hurt himself, but happy that he gave it all. He had a really good game. We're going to go through the individuals in a little while here, but I thought Casemiro had an excellent match. Again, I thought pretty much everybody, again, had a really good match. You can maybe argue Ahmad had a quiet match, but we weren't really getting the ball on our right-hand side a lot. We were defending a lot, but we weren't really getting the ball over there. So I don't think that was necessarily his fault. Big up Debasi. Welcome back. Sesko yesterday created it. Yeah. Movement from strikers is one of the most underrated traits from a lot of people. I think that what they can do sometimes just to create space for other people and opportunities is often overlooked, and I wish more people would see that. It makes it sound like I'm being elitist. I'm not. I talk about it a lot. When I say movement, I don't mean speed and stuff. I mean, like, again, pulling the defenders, creating little runs, finding pockets of space and stuff, especially on set pieces. That's what I mean. Big up DJ Dark US Night. Welcome. Dude, I'm new, but I love the name. I appreciate it, man. Welcome to the channel. You guys, if you are new and you like what you see, hit that subscribe button. I'm going full Carrick today. You can see I'm rocking the backwards kit. I don't even care. But big up. Welcome to the channel. Big appreciate, man. I love it. Lia's still buzzing, dude. I'm still buzzing too, man. Hit the like button if you're still buzzing. I am crazy buzzing. I have a poll for you guys in the chat. Make sure to get involved in that as we go along, because I'm going to revisit that in a little while here. But big up, man. DJ says Ahmad was quiet, but he did his part. Yeah, Ahmad, yeah, again, like I said, it wasn't anything of his own making. We just weren't really, when we were attacking, when we were building out, we weren't really going down the right-hand side, though. He just wasn't getting super involved. So, and that wasn't his fault, but and that's why I say, like, if I had to pick, like, the quietest performance, is probably Ahmad, but that's all big. Danny says they need to back Carrick in January. Yeah, we're going to hold him to it. We've got, a little more than a week left. I would love it if we could strengthen this month in any way, shape, or form. It would be amazing. But I'm not going to hold my breath, but we'll see how's it going. Debasi's been watching salty Arsenal Liverpool fans. That's a spectator sport in itself, man. Watching those guys start, like Ty and stuff from AFTV, all these guys, like, you just sit back, brew some popcorn, and just start watching, man. It's hilarious, dude. Daddy says, watch a clip earlier, some deluded Arsenal. Dude, Arsenal fans are the worst. We've been saying it for years on the channel, you guys. Arsenal fans are deluded. They are the worst. Not because Liverpool fans, like, because they've won shit. It's just that they don't win anything, and yet somehow they always want to make themselves part of the conversation. It's ridiculous, man. It's a ridiculous one. Lyle says it was a game for our left-hand side. Yeah, I mean, we're going to talk about Dorgu, because Paddy Dorgu, like, take a bow. And like DJ says, Dorgu the surprise of the year. I'm not even surprised. I was saying last year, there were people writing Dorgu off last year, and I was like, give him some time. He's 20 years old. Let him do his thing. And I'm happy that he's developing, man. Yeah, Fulham is going to be a test, man. This is where Michael Carrick did struggle a bit at Middlesbrough, was teams who sit back a little bit, make themselves compact, try to figure out a way to unlock that, because he does play a lot of the counterattack, a lot of the all action. So this is a test. It'll be a test when we come against those sides. So again, that's where I'm going to wait and see. I'm going to hold my judgment, but y'all can go as wild as you want to with it. So tactically, like I said, we struggled to move the ball up the pitch in the first half. We found ourselves, we tried to get it wide, and we found ourselves under pressure time and time again. Like, we would try to get this ball wide out to build Dorgu, and he was constantly getting hammered. He was Odegaard is on him. Saka was on him right away. Saliba was coming across to cover space. They were spreading their defenders out a little wide and stuff, so they were able to get that. They kind of shut us down a little bit whenever we tried to do that. I was talking to Bill and Brad and whatnot during the first half. Like, we need to maybe start getting some players in these half spaces. We need to start finding those channels and try to move the ball in, or move possession more centrally, because they're kind of pressing us in these wide positions. It was a bit too predictable from us. And Carrick ended up doing just that. He didn't wait till the second half. He didn't wait. He just started doing it first. We saw a lot of players moving inward. We saw Dalo moving inward, Dorgu moving inward. The ball was going through the middle to Casemiro, instead of going wide to Dorgu all the time. And really, we just took advantage of the space. And like I said, we didn't wait until the halftime talk to make those changes. You could see it's in the 40th minute. This is after we equalize as well. Very pleased to see us come out with a little bit more intensity in the second half. I wasn't too happy with how, like I said, how standoffish we were in that first half. We came out, we kept it going, even despite the fact that, he did this more in the second half as well. To start the second half, we were, again, moving a lot of players into central positions as well. But even despite the fact that we were set up very, very compact, and you can see even here later on, close to about 15 minutes left to go, we were still up. We still went on the attack over and over and over again. We were set up more in a 5 yesterday, a back 5, which I don't really have a problem with. A lot of people are saying, well, why are we playing like that? Well, you're going against the top team in the league. A team is undefeated in Champions League. They're flying right now. You do have to play smart, and smart play is making it difficult to get through, man. But again, even then, we weren't playing defensively like we might have done under Amorim, like full second half at Newcastle, or against Newcastle, for instance. This was, no, we're just going to soak it up, and then we're just going to hit you. And I was glad to see that we kept going for it. We kept going for it. It's such a breath of fresh air, man. It's hilarious. What are you guys saying in here? DJ said, I was saying Dorgu is no Doku. I take that back. He's very, very good, man. I said, the thing I loved about Dorgu when he first got here was, again, it was a lot of the I call them the unteachables, the intangibles, the stuff you can't coach necessarily, the mentality, the fight, that energy. He can work on his crossing. He can work on the final ball and whatnot. He can work on the overlaps and underlaps, the whens and hows and stuff. It is what it is. Plus, he just turned 21 a couple months ago, so I'm not going to expect him to be the finished article. But it's the mentality stuff that he already brought with him, and that's the stuff where I'm like, that puts him way ahead of the curve, in my opinion, compared to that. Let me see what you guys. Last says Ty even said Cunha's goal. There's a foul. Ty, do we really even take anything Ty says seriously? I mean, come on. Devasi's getting involved in the poll. It says, I voted. Let him audition for it. And who knows if that list will have loose. Yeah. And like I said, I put some options for you in there for you guys. What do you think about Carrick full-time? I'm going to come back to it a little later on. Should he be given the permanent job? 60% of you said he at least deserves the chance to basically audition for it. This should be considered his audition. Most of you guys are going that route. Some of you say, only if he wins every game. Some of you are already saying, yes, he deserves it now. And 17% say, no, I still want the best managers out there. So keep getting involved in the poll, you guys. We'll come back to visit that later on. But yeah, so again, compact, a little bit of a back 5 at times, which I don't really have a problem with. Shifted things up in the first half in terms of moving runners more centrally, getting those wide players to get into central positions, building from the center instead of predictably going wide. Carrick changed it up real quick. And then we kept on the front foot. All things that I like to see, something that we weren't really seeing before. Big up, Jim. Hope you're doing well, man. Let us know what you got going on this week. Are you still buzzing? I'm still buzzing. So DJ says 100% for me, and I know auditions. Yeah. Big up, man. What do you do? Roberto Dorgu. I've seen some crazy stuff. Anybody who's seen the Dorgu Best meme out there with Dorgu and George Best hair on? Somebody let me know if you've seen that one. That one's hilarious. I like that one. Big up Vibe. What's up, man? Says beat the low blocks, get the job. Yeah, if he can break down the low block, then I might start kind of moving into maybe it's worth it to check it out again. The reason I'm still not quite convinced, it has nothing to do with Michael Carrick, and it has everything to do with the fact that if we give Michael Carrick the permanent job, what that tells me is that Ineos had no plan. They have not been planning. They have not been talking to people. They've really not been working on anything, which wouldn't surprise me because it's last week of January and still no business, even though we went for midfielders in the summer. We had money set aside for Semenyo in January. We still need a midfielder. Like, what are we doing? Like, it's insane. And that's the reason. I don't want to let Ineos off the hook. And that for me, and it may seem unfair to Carrick, but again, that's why I always say it's nothing to do with Carrick. Everything to do with Ineos, like just being let off the hook for not having a plan. She says, "How about the Cass McGuire?" Nice. um, Jim says, "You missed one out if he gets the Champions League." Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm only allowed 4 though. YouTube only lets you put 4, so I had to choose which one I wanted. So I figured if he's gonna win every game, that's probably gonna be Champions League because it is what it is. But you know what I mean. If I could put 5, I would put 5. Vibe says, we have beaten top teams before. The coaching staff still needs brains. Well, we've got Steve Holland. I think Steve Holland was a bit of a shrewd addition. If you guys go watch, there's an episode on the YouTube channel, The Coach's Voice, of Steve Holland kind of, and I mentioned this last week, of him kind of breaking things down during his time at Chelsea. It's very, very good. Evans is a bit of a newbie. Woodgate, obviously, spent a lot of time with Carrick as well. And I think I forget it. It's literally on the tip of my tongue. Binion, the under 21s coach, is helping as well. So not exactly the most experienced overall, but obviously Holland comes in. And I like that Holland's a bit of an outside voice to tell it. It is nice to have a little bit of a neutral voice in there as well. I says, what midfielders? Ineos, right? Ineos would be like, well, we signed one. Carrick. Carrick's a midfielder. He counts, right? Big up, Darko. Good to see you again. Big up, man. Good to see you. So honestly, when it comes to just Arsenal and the way they played yesterday, it felt like, and I know a lot of people have already said this, but it felt like Arsenal were playing with a little bit of restraint. It again, and I said this the other day, they've already started to look like they're so concerned about they hear footsteps. They're already concerned about dropping points that it's getting in their own head. They've played yesterday like they were afraid of losing, and I wonder if the bottle job's starting early. And you guys can hold me to this, whether I get it wrong, but I also expect you to hold me to it if we get it right. I've been saying since the beginning of the season, I never, ever worry about Arsenal winning the league because we've seen this movie before. They throw it away. City go on a tear. And if they lose again, I've called it. I've just called it. And again, it's because they're just not good from open play. They're not really great at all. They don't win when they score from set pieces. They're literally 4th top scorer is own goal. And again, it was a couple fluky goals for them yesterday as well. I'll readily admit, though, it's those sort of fluky goals and grinding out those results. That's what tends to separate the title winners from the rest of the pack. You have to win dirty. You have to sometimes get lucky. That's part of it. I readily admit it. But I don't think Arsenal looked that great from open play. They've got a lot of players who are just not as good as I think that Arsenal fans think they are, like Odegaard, Saka. Dorgu is literally 3 goals, 3 assists in the league. Saka's 4 goals, 3 assists. Like, that's what I'm talking about. But this was a game where both sides exceeded their XG, but Arsenal's wasn't that great. It was like 1.2, wasn't great. Ours was 0.73, even worse, meaning our shots weren't of the highest probability to go in, but we still put them away nonetheless. And we scored. We only had 3 shots on target, and we scored with all 3. So again, that clinicalness, you're not going to get many chances. I said in the preview, we're not going to get many chances. We have to capitalize. 3 shots on target, 3 goals. I'm having it all day long. Let me get caught up before we start looking at some of these players individually here. Darko says, Sean, I don't want to affect my MH with the owners thing. I don't know what MH is. I would rather be positive with Carrick and his lineups and his substitutions, rather believe in Carrick. Oh, I believe in Carrick. It has nothing to do with Carrick and everything to do with Ineos, because it would just be another case of them not really knowing what they're doing. You guys know, you can see fully on Ineos out because they are absolutely incompetent. They have no idea what they're doing, but that's the only thing. I'm readily admit, if Carrick wins every game, if we get like second place or something somehow, yeah, fuck it, let's go for it. But I'm not going to let Ineos off the hook for that, dude. Vibe says, I trust Ineos with midfielders, at least by going. I trust the players that they buy. I just think that they need to move with a little bit more hustle, a little bit more ambition. This whole, like, we don't want to run to the wrong decision thing gets on my fucking nerves, because you can also run to the right decision if it's the right decision. Like I said, we had money set aside in January for one player. We didn't end up getting him. We went for midfielders in the summer. We didn't end up doing it. Like, the money's still there. Just go and get it done. Like that. And I've said it so many times. If we had gone and got a midfielder and had it lined up the beginning of January, ready to go, we could still be in the FA Cup. People are like, well, you're going to spend a little bit more in January. I don't care. I don't care. You spend 20 million over the odds on a player in January. That could have meant the difference between the FA Cup run, which again, you're getting match day revenue from that and potentially prize money if you win it. Could have meant the difference between qualifying for top 4 for sure, which again will pay for itself. There's no reason to penny pinch. Football is one of those weird endeavors in life where success is not measured in a spreadsheet. It's measured by trophies and wins and titles. Like, I don't care what it looks like on a spreadsheet. That's not success. We're not Brighton. We're not Ajax. We're not Dortmund. We're not a selling club. We're a club that needs to be winning things. And that is what success is for us. I don't care what it looks like in the boardroom. I don't care what is in the red or is in the black. Could not give a single fuck. Go win some trophies. Buy some players. It's not that hard. Set Piece FC says aloud, yeah, tell me about it, dude. It's hilarious, man. Device says, well, if we get UCL, then we have access to players better than Anderson. I mean, Anderson for me is top target in my opinion. I would take Anderson in a heartbeat. I did a video yesterday or day before yesterday. You guys can go watch it, of looking at Casemiro replacements. I mentioned the Premier League proven guys. I mentioned the experienced guys. And I mentioned some of the youngsters that could come in and rotate. But I also went and got 5 more players who could be ideal Casemiro replacements. Go check that video out when you're done here. I do appreciate that. And let me know your thoughts too. Go and do that. Oh, mental health, big up. Well, if you need to talk about someone about your mental health, man, you can come talk to me, because you guys know I am a therapist. You guys do get a little psychology advice here and there on the channel. TJ says, Arsenal, Tottenham FC managed by the Devils. Vibe says, we would not win these games with Amorim, though. Yeah, Amorim does kind of play, he's risk averse. We've talked about this. And again, I don't like going back and kicking a guy when he's been sacked. It is what it is. But he was risk averse. He was a little, like Dylan and I were at the Newcastle game. We're at the Wolves game. The Newcastle game was atrocious. We won, but parking the bus for the whole entire second half after going up 1-0 was embarrassing. Absolutely embarrassing. Big up Debasi celebrating 7 months of membership. Best defense in the league. Saka is the best player in the world. This Arsenal team is comparable. This Arsenal team is not comparable to anybody. They're comparable to like 1996 Stoke, man. That's all there is to it. But big up Debasi for celebrating 7 months of membership. You get one of these. They are the best way to get involved in the content. There's more than just emojis. It's more than just badges. You know, you do get opportunities to contribute to scouting report suggestions, ideas for episodes of What If. Season 4 finale will be coming around soon, I promise. It's been super busy for me. Starting 11 and Legends members do get access to the WhatsApp group, because just because the stream ends doesn't mean the conversation has to. So try to give you guys as much kickbacks as I possibly can, man. But big up. Vibe says Ineos and Amorim both responsible for this position. Amorim plays a role. Ineos definitely play a role, because I do think we moved a little slowly in the summer, and obviously not doing anything in January doesn't help. And I do think the players play a role as well. I don't want to ever let the players off the hook, because they also didn't really show up under Darren Fletcher when he was here for a couple matches too, and it's a big reason why we're not in the FA Cup. So GJ says, you're a therapist and figures. You know how to make us all happy. Well, my job isn't necessarily make people happy. My job is to help them figure out why they're not happy, honestly. But big up, man. So let's talk about some players here, because we saw some good things. Really, it was really a lot of good stuff. But I want your thoughts on this, guys. Make sure you like and subscribe and let me know your thoughts. We'll start with Senna Lamans. Are you Schmeichel in disguise? He was man of the match according to FootMob. Obviously, Harry Maguire got Premier League man of the match. Made some excellent saves. Only three saves on the night, but a lot of claims, a lot of grabbing that ball, going full Jordan Pickford at times when we needed to kill a little bit of a couple seconds off the clock and just going full sprawl. A lot of really good up-close reflex stops from inside the box. I would like to see him be just about 10 to 15% like more confident, stronger, bolder, just kind of like give zero fucks on when we're defending corners. And again, some of that has a lot to do with Arsenal's set piece. I mean, Arsenal's MO on set piece, especially corners, is just to foul everybody and set picks. And I told you guys in the preview, he's going to need to realize that that's going to happen. So he's going to have to just be stronger, or he's going to have to make a big show of it if he gets pushed around. because I'm sick and tired of Arsenal getting away with murder. How do we get a goal chalked off against Burnley for literally nothing just because Kyle Walker goes to ground? It's like so easily, like diving little twat, but somehow Arsenal can literally just foul everybody in the box, man. It's absolutely ridiculous, man. DJ says, I'm a musical therapist. I make people happy. And big up, man. Big up. Oh, you're a musician? Nice. I like to sing. I can't play. I can kind of play guitar. I can't read music. I read tabs, and so it really only helps if I know the song. But I haven't touched a guitar in like 8 years though. But it is what it is. But big up, man. Nice to have a nice, well-rounded UVE community. Lyle says, I was never Amorim out because I felt he had something. However, he was too complicated, made things too complicated. Karras took us back to basics, keep it simple. Yeah. Amorim was a bit stubborn. He was definitely a bit more Pep, and he's kind of like a Pep and a Jose combined a little bit. A little too rigid, a little too cautious, a little too risk averse, and definitely very just specific with his tactics. Didn't really. I don't think he trusted enough of the players enough, in my opinion. But what do you guys make of Senna Lamans real quick? DJ says Maguire, Shaw, Mens. Yeah, another excellent game, man. I love it. Vibe says Lamans and VTech next season. Yeah, I wonder what's going to go on with VTech because I wanted us to keep Matty Kovar. We obviously ended up selling him. He had that excellent season with Leverkusen. I think he's at PSV Eindhoven now, if I remember correctly. But he'll probably end up going right now. Like Dabasi says, we'll probably end up selling him because that's what we do. We don't really do a whole lot with our academy keepers. I wish we would have stuck with Kovar. I wish we would have kept VTech as well, but I'm very, very happy with Senna Lamans. DJ says we got to get VTech back. Well, we'll probably make some money off him. He'll probably end up going someplace like Forest or something. Who knows? West Ham or something. We're doing player ratings. Dabasi's giving Lamans a 7. Big up. Yeah, I thought Lamans had a very good match. Luke Shaw, quietly, he had a very solid performance. Again, one of those performances where you don't hear his name a whole lot, but at the same time, it was excellent. 5 out of 9 duels, 3 tackles, which was the most in the match. 4 interceptions as well. Cut across a lot, track back a lot to make some vital challenges and vital interceptions. Like another solid game from Shaw. It's one of those things that I wish that he was younger, or I wish that he hadn't had all those injuries, because it's just one of those what if. Conveniently, there is an episode of What If all about Luke Shaw's leg break. Go ahead and watch that one if you guys haven't yet. But another solid performance from him as well. Spassi says he's slowly showing progress. He's got potential, right? Lingard settings. Like it. But Shaw, I thought, had a really good performance again. Licha, I thought he was a bit kind of switched off, I guess you could say, for their opener. In my opinion, they did kind of rule it as an OG. I think it's a little harsh to call it an OG. I did think it came off of Timber's foot personally, but again, another instance where Timber and Leach are both they look like they're dancing. I mean, they're literally holding on to each other, just standing there. And I think that he just needs to maybe recognize that situation and read that situation a little better. But I mean, other than that, it wasn't like it was a horrible match. Completed all of his dribbles. 8 passes into the final third, 2 tackles, 7 of 10 duels. Excellent carrying the ball forward and creating a lot of space for himself. And we know that about Licha. He's very press resistant. He's very, very, very good at making space for himself under pressure, which is something that I think goes underrated in terms of what he brings to the side. A lot of people are only going to remember the OG, though, which is unfortunate, because I didn't think he had a bad match. It's just he was a bit switched off for it, unfortunately. So let's see here. But the boss says we need a backup going. We've got a couple. I think Heaton is going to be signing an extension, but that's mainly because Heaton is basically a goalkeeping coach now, right? Like you have 3 keepers during the warm up. You just have to, because the main guy's in net, the other 2 are off wide, and they're doing drills and whatnot. So we have to have someone there. Bindier will probably end up selling Bindier unless he wants to stick around and never play again. But it wouldn't go amiss if we just get another keeper. But maybe we can promote someone from back. Who knows? Vibe says Shaw, can't forgive him for the EOFI. He was. I blame both him and Onana a little bit for that goal. I do place a lot of blame on Amorim for his team selection in that final. But what it is. It's one of them things, Maguire. Big up Herodona. Did you guys see him going full Herodona mode late on, just driving that ball up the pitch, man? His numbers weren't too great on the ball, passing-wise, but defensively, he was a rock. He made 9 clearances, got 1 tackle, literally won all his duels on the night, 5 of 5 duels. And there was such a handful of moments where his experience really shone. Timing his challenges right, knowing when to step in, when to stand back, when to cut out a ball. None of that could have been more perfect. Obviously, he was the Premier League's player of the match as well last night. So big up, Harry. You're a wizard. We know you. We love you, man. RK Bricks in the house. Big up. Says, good evening, boys. Unfortunately, I can't join you for tonight's stream. I'm on the way out with the wife for a bit of dinner. Well, I hope you guys have a good night, man. Hope you guys enjoy your dinner. Appreciate you stopping by, though. Big up, man. Make sure you hit that like button on your way out. DJ says, I was in Arsenal channel after the game. Even they call Leacha the Butcher. Yeah, Leacha, he was awesome. Harry the GOAT. Harry, I've seen some people talking about maybe he'll get an extension. I don't know what you guys think. Should we extend Maguire's contract by another year? Should we kind of let him go? What would you guys do with Maguire? Would it be better to have him there for experience? We don't know what's going on with DeLitt. We don't know how long-term. Leacha, he's been fit. He's been back since his long-term injury. We'll see there. We've got Heaven. We've got Euro as well. Is it worth it maybe to keep Maguire around for another year at least, and then maybe he'll want to retire here? I don't know. What would you guys do with Maguire? Let me know in the chat how you're doing. Moving on. Dallo. You guys know my thoughts on Dallo. All things being equal, I do still think that we can upgrade on Dallo in the summer personally. But again, I always have to give credit where it's due. He may not have seen a lot of the ball during the build-up, during the attack. But again, off the ball, he was solid. He was getting stuck in. He was putting pressure on the ball. He always seemed to know where he needed to be. Much, much better as a fullback than as a wingback, in my opinion. I think that when he's got to focus on one or the other, he's much better. Obviously, I don't think his final ball is ever really improving. And like I said, if there's an opportunity to maybe sell him for some profit in the summer and maybe bring in a better right back, or I would honestly just start Mazraoui there and maybe promote a youngster or buy a young right back like that guy Capaccio that we scouted the other day that we've been linked to, or some other. I've listed so many right backs, you guys. There's so many to think of, but I would still sell him. But again, credit where it's due. He had a solid match yesterday. Darko says, let Maguire go. DJ says, another season. At least he's been a great servant for the club. Yeah, you can't ever fault Maguire's commitment to the club, his effort, his work, his mentality. I think he's done excellent these last couple of years. Obviously, in the Europa League last year, he was he was awesome. Let's talk about Casemiro. Quietly had a bit of a game as a deep line playmaker yesterday. Made 7 passes into the final third, 2 out of 3 long balls, created a chance as well. Another good performance from him. Played the full 90 as well, which I didn't think he had in him anymore. Memorable performance, memorable result for him, just days after announcing his exit. So his last match against Arsenal in the league was an excellent one. Couldn't have gone better for him personally. Again, if you want to go see some players that I think we should be looking at to replace him, go check out that video from the other day. There is, I think it's the main video on the channel if you guys look at the channel, but it wouldn't take much to replace him. We wouldn't have to spend a lot of money. We definitely wouldn't have to spend any wages. We'll be saving probably between 12 and 15 million a year with him off the books, but he will be walking away for free. So there's that as well. But I thought Casemiro had a really good job. Casemiro, he's good. Let's have a little chat here about Mr. Kobbie Mainoo real quick, because Kobbie, like everyone else, was a little bit quiet in the first half, but it ended up we grew into the game again. I wasn't ever really panicked or anything like that. He just quietly had a really, really good game. Got himself an assist, created 2 chances, and I read that as well. I can't remember where I read this stat, but in this match, in the City match, he actually ran the most distance out of all the players in both matches. So he's getting around the pitch, something that we've questioned about in the past. He's getting stuck in off the ball. Again, his press resistance has never been questioned. To me, it's always just been a little bit of the physicality and then maybe the passing range, because I think he is more of a ball carrier than a playmaker in terms of like what Bruno does or like what Carrick used to do. But we know that Carrick also sees Kobbie as a bit more of an attack-minded midfielder than just like a deep line playmaker. But I think Kobbie's shown that what he can do in these last couple matches. And I've seen things from Kobbie in these last couple matches, like I just explained, that I didn't think he could have had in his locker. So more of that, more of what we've seen these last couple matches from Kobbie, man. Tabasi says Casemiro farewell tour should end with a UCL spot. Yeah, I mean, we're on track, aren't we? But I mean, again, we're not gonna go too soon. But I think that would be obviously yes, that would be the great way to send him out of here, just to help us get him back. He told his agent when we signed him, he said, "I'll tell him I'll help them kind of fix this," and he's getting us back to Champions League. Um, GJ said, "Here's something that will upset everyone. Should we let Bruno go? And if we did, who's going to take his place? It's Kabi." I mean, we've talked about Bruno a lot. A lot of people would still sell Bruno. I go back and forth still. I wouldn't be upset if we kept him. I wouldn't be that upset if we sold him. The question is, you know, do you trust Ineos to replace him properly? That's always been my question: is do you trust Ineos? You don't necessarily have to replace him with a like for like. Like for instance, I spoke the other day about maybe moving Cunha into the 10 and maybe prioritizing maybe a better left winger. That could be an option as well. Because I think Cunha does make a really good kind of second striker, number 10, kind of like a Gibbs White as a kind of mold, someone who's not necessarily going to sit there and just ping balls everywhere, but someone who's going to actually create a little bit more running, a little bit more 1-2. Kabi can do it. Cunha could definitely do it as well. So versatility is going to be key with a lot of these new signings, and I think that that's what Cunha offers. But it is a good question. I know a lot of people are hit and miss. It's a bit mercurial in the fan. I don't think anyone's gonna upset anyone honestly with that question because it's something we've spoken about many times. But let us know what you would do, DJ. Let's talk about Dorgu for a second here, you guys, because we're gonna skip Dorgu. I'm gonna come back to Dorgu in a second. Hold up. Let's talk about Bruno. Another game, another assist for our Magnifico. Double-digit assists now. Second quickest center midfielder to get to 200 goal involvements this century. 10th quickest of any Premier League player, period, this century to get to 200 goal involvements. Like, I don't know how people can look at numbers like that and say that he's not world class. He is world class. Was guilty of holding onto the ball a little too long at times yesterday. A couple of his shots were off target. I think one was a deflection, though, but I'm not going to nitpick. 2 chances created, 2 tackles, 1 interception as well. Bruno looking back to his best again. Double digits assists, man. Like, come on. Like, come on. Justin's in the house. Big up, Justin. Good to see you again. You get one of these, buddy.
Oh, yeah!
I'm gonna call you back in a little bit. I couldn't call you earlier. I was working out and I didn't want to. If I stopped talking on the phone, because you and I talk on the phone for like an hour and a half, I would have derailed my entire day. So I'm gonna give you a call when I'm done here. So Dorgu's goal was a banger. Bruno has some solid shots. Yeah, Dorgu's goal was perfect. Cunha's goal was an absolute worldie as well, man. A couple of excellent goals, man. DJ says Bruno, players, season after season. Yeah, Bruno has been just magnificent. Again, second quickest center midfielder to get to 200 goal involvements in the last 25 years. 10th quickest of any player in the Premier League in the last 25 years to get to that mark. Like, that's insane. Imagine if he had a little bit better players around him since he got here. Imagine if we were a little bit more stable structure-wise, manager-wise. Imagine what we could have done. He probably would have twice as many assists by now, honestly. Like, he would have shattered that record. But alas and alack, it's always going to be a game of what if here. Ahmad, again, like I said, bit of a quiet game. Not necessarily his fault, but we just weren't really doing a whole lot on the right-hand side. But he put in a good shift off the ball, made 2 tackles, an interception, won 3 out of 5 of his ground duels as well. Ahmad's that player who's, even if we're not actively playing through him, what he can do, what the opposition knows he can do, makes him a constant threat, whether he's on the ball or not. Because all it takes is one deflection, one pass to beat Arsenal's press, or one deflection off a corner that drops to Ahmad in kind of a wide position or an open, and he's gone. And he's freaking gone, and he's a threat. So I was a little upset that we weren't utilizing that more often. Maybe leave him on the outside of the box on these corner kicks in case we do get a little bit of a deflection, because now then Arsenal have to take a player out of the box to cover him. But it's all right. He didn't do anything bad, didn't do anything wrong. We just weren't really looking to play down that right-hand side at all. So it is what it is. Bumo did well to pounce on that loose ball, send it home. We had a couple of chances like that. I think we were really taking advantage of some of the way Arsenal were trying to beat off from the back. Also created 2 chances. That's 2 goals for Mbumo in his last 2 games. I wonder if maybe a 9, like a counterattacking role as our 9, is maybe that suits him better than under this new system. It keeps Ahmad on the pitch. We got Cunha on the pitch now. The question mark is obviously Shesko, but it just depends on the opposition. Maybe the way we're trying to play. And obviously Shesko got some minutes yesterday as well. But that's goals against Liverpool, Man City, and now Arsenal for Brian Mbumo, and he's having an excellent season. DJ says, when Bruno leaves us, my God, you got to be good to replace him. Yeah. If you're looking for a straight up Bruno style player, then you're looking at guys like, I don't know, like Nico Paz is one of those guys. I don't know, maybe like a Florian Wirtz when he was at Leverkusen. Jobazlai, I would definitely make a cheeky punt for Jobazlai to replace Bruno if Bruno leaves, because I think Jobazlai is absolutely amazing. Those kind of players. But you also don't have to replace him with a like for like kind of playmaker, kind of like you can also look for someone like Acuna, who's again more like an Eze or a Gibbs White or someone like a runner like that as well. But yeah, Mbumo, I thought another good game. Just he's a little isolated at times, but I think that we show that he is a major threat. He is an absolute major threat when he gets the ball in those positions. Special shout out to Cunha. He wasn't in the starting 11, but I think that when he came on, he brought energy, he brought fight, which I said up until that point we were lacking a little bit. We needed, especially with us not really finding Ahmad, like I needed someone on the pitch who was maybe going to drop deep and kind of get himself involved a little more than Ahmad was doing. And Cunha is that guy. He will come back and fight the ball if he's not getting it. And that's what I thought we needed at that point in time. Give Arsenal just kind of no rest when he came on. And his winning goal was absolutely perfect. I mean, perfect. And that's 2 games now under Carrick where he's come on, made a major impact off the bench. Again, kind of like Sir Alex used to do, keeping him hungry, keeping him ready, keeping him maybe a little angry that he's not starting, and just getting the best out of him. And that is a underrated tactic from managers. That's man management 101. And I think that Carrick is got a little bit of Sir Alex rubbing off on him, but obviously he got the winner. When we won, I went a little nuts in the snow. You guys can rewind the video to the beginning if you guys want to see the clip of me making a snow angel to celebrate. But another good match from Cunha as well. It's just excellent matches, you guys. We're going to go through my 3 thoughts now. If you guys are familiar with the channel, you guys know I go through my 3 thoughts a little bit, and I want to talk a little bit about our interim boss. But make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe, because thought number 1, let's talk about the Carrick effect. Early shout for manager of the month from Michael Carrick. I mean, he's been amazing these last 2 matches. Obviously, he wasn't around for most of the month, but I mean, he's doing better than other managers have, because this is 2 games against the top 2 sides and 2 wins, a massive 6 points for Michael Carrick. And I'm absolutely freaking here for it, dude. I'm absolutely here for it. Sorry, I just messed up my computer a little bit. Sure, we're a bit on the back foot to start the first half, but again, like the Manchester Derby last weekend, I never ever got the sense that we were panicked, that we were stressed, that we were kind of struggling at all. Like, I'll be honest, in the first half, I thought at several points that we weren't going to win. Like, I put it in the group chat, like, I don't think we're winning this. It just didn't look like it looked like we were giving Arsenal a little too much respect. But again, even in that, I never panicked. I just didn't know if we were going to get out of that mode, if that makes sense. But whatever Carrick said at halftime, it worked, because the intensity increased. We started going a little bit more on the front foot. Yes, we were compact. Yes, we were deep, but we were kind of pressing a little bit more. You can absolutely see the effect that Michael Carrick has had on the squad. You know, as a player, he was a calming presence on the pitch, composed influence in midfield. As a head coach, his former players at Middlesbrough have raved about his calmness when he got appointed. I did that video on his tactics. I gave a lot of quotes from some of his former Middlesbrough players, and every single one talked about his calmness. That is a trickle effect. That is a positive ripple effect from the coach down to the rest of the squad, and you can see it. Watching this match, watching City, you can see a calmness. You can see that it was more just like biding the time, rope a dope, and like, all right, keep hitting us. We're winding up right now. We're winding up, and we're going to hit you. And the way we bounced back after Mourinho's goal on that set piece too, where he just kind of poked it home again, the players looked like they had the belief that we could go and get something, and they were going for it with that belief. With even just a few minutes to go as well, we were still going for it late on, and I like that. There were moments under Amorim, to his credit, where we did see a bit of that fight. We did see a bit of resilience. We did see a couple of matches where maybe a year prior we wouldn't have come back and salvaged anything. So I got to give Amorim credit where it's due in those moments. But there's something different to this Carrick side. it is a bit more of the Ollie, a little bit more, dare I say, the Sir Alex, that quiet confidence. Confidence, again, like I said, that keeps saying, yeah, keep hitting us. We're winding up. And like the Derby, we were pressing like demons well into stoppage time. We were still going for it. I'm still not in the whole give it to Carrick camp, but I do think he deserves a shot to audition for the job. I think it would be completely unfair if he didn't get at least consideration, at least to let him audition for it. But where do you stand? Where's this poll at right now? 53 votes. Big up, guys, getting involved. I love that. 38% of you say he deserves a chance to audition for it. 23 say if he wins every game. We'll call that / qualifies for Champions League too. How about that? 28% of you are saying yes right now. He deserves it already after these 2 games. 11% of you still say no, I want the best. Well, it's up to you guys to decide. Give him the job if he does well, or maybe do you worry that no, you still want the best? Ineos can't be let off the hook. They need to go out and get the best guy. I want to know what you guys think here. Let's see. DJ says, yep, arm around the shoulder when it's not going well. Yeah, I got no problem with that. Absolutely. Danny says, 100% old school tactics. Yeah. And there is something to be said about knowing your squad, he's played, or not, he hasn't played with some of these players, right? Because he's played with Shaw. There's that. That's weird to say. But he's coached a couple of these guys before under Ollie. He's coached a couple of them as interim as well. So he knows them. He knows their strengths. So there's something to be said. There's a fine line between adjusting tactics to your players and sticking to your guns. But I think Carrick's sticking to his guns, his philosophy, his way of playing is what suits United, is what suits these players automatically. So there isn't going to be this whole worry about him being stubborn. There isn't going to be this whole abandoning his principles talk from Nabi Savage or any of these guys. This is the way Carrick plays. It's very similar to Ollie. Now, again, like Ollie, the question marks are going to come when we come up against a low block side. How are we going to handle that? Are we going to be able to maintain possession? What's our rest defense going to look like? Are we going to be able to use a little bit more movement and some quick interchange play like we saw between Bruno and Dorgu yesterday to kind of unlock those defenses? Are we going to hit them on the break quickly enough so they don't get back in numbers? That's been one of my major criticisms of us over the years, especially under Amorim. We're not moving the ball quickly. Can we do that? Do these players have the wherewithal in their heads to get the ball from a corner and launch it and to get their head down, kick it into space and bust a gut to get on it? Like that's the question. That's the question. So, but yeah, it is the Carrick effect. I do think we see that from his calmness. And I think that we're seeing that ripple down through the rest of the players as well. So number 2, go on, Patty. Go on, Patty. I told you guys we were coming back to Dorgu. And I told you all, when people were writing off Dorgu last season, I told you guys, give him time. And he is proving the doubters wrong. He is absolutely proving the doubters wrong, man. Back-to-back matches on that left wing. And to be fair, Amorim had him at right wing a couple times, and he did score some goals against Newcastle. He was playing on the right wing, scored that goal. But I asked the question after the derby, and I'll ask it again. Is Dorgu better as a winger than he is as a fullback? Do you like that he's got that off-the-ball work rate and that physicality in the wing position, or would you prefer to him to use that deeper, but also rely on some of that pace and some of that 1-2 play to get forward as maybe an attacking fullback? Where do you guys think Dorgu is better? I mean, it is his all-action, energetic, fight mentality, though. I think we can all argue that that's such a breath of fresh air on the wing. His goal was absolutely perfect. The 1-2s, it was like, ironically, it reminded me of like Arsenal under Wenger in those later years, that 1-2 kind of give and go stuff they were playing. The intricate passes, the driving run from Dorgu, the momentum, and then the finish. I mean, catches it on the half volley outside of the boot. It's going away from David Rea into the end. Top bins, dude, just nails that crossbar. That's like a classic Michael Scholes or a Paul Scholes rocket right there, nailing that crossbar, man. It's so funny to me too. We got Arsenal fans and we've got Duncan Castles, by the way, calling for a handball. But honest to God, if this is handball, game's gone. Like, game's gone if you're giving this as a handball. He's like 2 feet from Zubamendi. His arm is literally holding his side. Now, the reason they didn't pull this back is because there wasn't enough evidence to show that it did not hit his hip. And when there's not enough evidence to overrule the referee, then you have to go with the on-field decision. And that's just the way it is. Blame Arsenal for not having enough cameras in their grounds. Don't know what to tell you, but honest to God, that would be incredibly harsh to call that handball. Again, proximity and the fact that his arm is down by his side is not in an unnatural position. If it didn't hit his arm, it was hitting his hip, and it would have done the same thing anyway. Now, Duncan Castle's stubborn little ass is whinging about the laws of the game and how if it hits the hand and it immediately then they go on and score a goal, then it should be ruled out. But again, where does common sense start to be applied to the IFAB laws of the game then? Because common sense would dictate the proximity, the arm position. Like, come on. Like, we're just reaching here at this point. No one wants, it's funny, nobody wants to play referee when Arsenal are literally fouling people left and right on corners, though, right? They just want to play referee here. Ty, man. Ty from AFTV he's still whining about this. Legend has it, he is still whinging about this to this day. Danny says, Tony Abo be proud. Yeah, right. I love it, man. Danny says, eventually fullback. Yeah, I'd probably prefer him to stay as fullback. I think right now it's simply just, the lack of a left winger, really. Maybe Cunha. I don't know. Argument could be made whether or not Cunha is a left winger, a 10, or whatever you want to call it. But 3 goals, 3 assists this season. Florian who, like I said, one goal fewer than Bukayo Saka in the league as well. Like, I don't want to go too soon, but I can think of another winger who ended up being world class, who started out as a fullback in the Premier League and went on to do great things. Any Welsh UVE community members can let me know who that is. Just give Dorgu the 7 shirt. Just F it. Who cares at this point, man? We're all worried. I think a lot of us are worried, and I haven't seen confirmation yet either way when he pulled up with what initially in the moment kind of looked like a hamstring yesterday. But Carrick stated after the match that it looked a bit more like cramp, but obviously he said we're going to have to wait and see. But hopefully it was cramp. Hopefully it was nothing more. Hopefully it was a bit of shithousery from Dorgu after, we're getting late on the game. But I would like to think that it's just cramp. But another excellent performance from Patty Dorgu, man. I am all over. I love Dorgu a lot, man. A lot of people forget that we were looking at Dorgu when Ten Hag was still here. We were looking at him not last spring, the spring before that. We were looking at Dorgu, and that was an Ineos thing. So move on, number 3. It's not how you start, it's how you finish. It is all about how you finish when it comes to these kind of situations. No, I'm not talking about finishing like Cunha's winner. I hate feeling like a Debbie Downer because, while it's all well and good to go and celebrate these big wins over City and over Arsenal, I mean, football's not for you if you can't celebrate this shit. You guys all know, if you've been watching this channel for a while, that when it comes to these big victories, when it comes to these results, I am more of a well done, now go and do it again kind of guy. That's just the way I am. Like, I don't want to rest on my laurels and say, go and do it again. You have to maintain that level. Those are the expectations I have for you now. Let's go and build on that. These results are about building a foundation, putting together some momentum, and doing everything that you can to go on a run over these next few months. These are going to be important few months. We have an opportunity here to really pull ahead of the pack. We've got 1 game a week. A lot of these guys that we're going to be competing with for top 4 positions are playing multiple matches a week, whether it's FA Cup or Champions League or Europe or whatever. We have an opportunity here to do this. 1 game a week, nearly a fully fit squad. Now, the players look up for it. Carrick's got a system that gets the most out of these players. There's no excuse not to go and finish the job and do a better job at it than some of these other managers have. Fulham and Spurs, both at home next. Back-to-back away to West Ham and Everton. Palace, Newcastle, and Villa. Those could be tricky matches. Fulham are going to be rough. Leeds, Chelsea, Brentford, Liverpool at home, Sunderland, Forest, Brighton to finish the season. Like, decent little run. Some potential banana skins in there, some tough asks in there, but we have no excuse to not go and try to get the most. 15 matches left, 45 points to play for. We need to try to do the best we can to scrape every single one of those points. And speaking of finishing well, if we want to put ourselves in the best position to do that, we have got to have a strong finish to this January transfer window. It's the final week of the window. I don't care about whether or not the top targets are available. No one's ever available. Go and get it done. Look at what City just did with Semenyo and Gahey, although fat lot of good that did them. I don't care if you have to pay a little more. Again, like I said earlier, it could have been the difference between us still being in the FA Cup. It could mean the difference between, like, for sure qualifying for Champions League or not. It's how you maintain momentum in the second half of the season. It's how you maintain pace with rivals and whatnot to make sure you don't fall off. Just go and get it done. It's about how you finish. I don't care. Danny says, yes, Bale. Yes. Represent Rob Taft, the Welshman in the chat. Yes. It was Gareth Bale. He was a left back at Southampton. But I'm having an absolute good day today, guys. My wife can always tell if we win or lose based on my mood. And when I come home from doing a snow angel at Bill's and ask her if she wants to go do snow angels in the front yard, her first response is, "You won, didn't you?" Yes, I did. 5 goals. 5 goals for right now, 2 goals against. Fourth place after back-to-back wins against the top 2 teams in the Premier League. Fucking get in. This is the first time Arsenal have conceded 3 goals in like forever. Fucking get in. And remember too, the women's team beat Arsenal earlier this week too. Fucking get in. Own goal is their 4th top scorer this season. Fucking get in. Captain Martin better than Bruno Odegaard getting hooked at 57 minutes. Fucking get in. 4 subs at once from Mikel Arteta. Fucking get in. Inject it into my veins. None of this is going to matter, though, if we don't go and get 3 points against Fulham this weekend. We will preview that one later on this week, so be sure to stop by for that one. Until then, though, please enjoy this win. Unrelentlessly banter the Arsenal and Liverpool fans in your life, please. Make them cry, make them block you, make them not want to be friends anymore. That just shows that you're doing a good job. You guys know I'm here for the tribalism. Adrian's in the house. Now is the hardest part for us, beating the crap teams. Yes, we've seen the struggle with this. We had that easy run that we just dropped way too many points in my opinion. I want to know your guys' thoughts. So if you weren't able to catch the live, please make sure you leave a comment. But most importantly, make sure you leave a like, subscribe if you are new as well. Please check the memberships as well. It is the best way to get involved in the content on the channel. You do get to have your say. And again, always go check out the United vs. Everybody store. There are some products right below the video player. Click on any one of those. They'll take you to the website. You missed the 20% off sale, but a little birdie told me there might be another sale coming up soon. So keep a lookout for that, you guys. You guys know I always try to hook you up with the best. But I appreciate everybody stopping by today. We'll be doing some videos this week coming up as well. So keep a lookout for a lot of things as well. Until then, you guys, enjoy your day. Enjoy your life. Enjoy bantering any Liverpool Arsenal supporters that you know in your life. But thank you guys for stopping by. Really cool to see some new faces in here. Love to get all the new opinions and all the new perspectives. But still buzzing. Get the fuck in, you guys. Take it easy. Enjoy the rest of your day. I will talk to you guys on the next one.